Alrighty, it is pouring down rain today. Let me hide that for you. Today's topic video, I don't know if you can see, that's one of my favorite shirts. I don't wear it very often. I'll explain that why a little bit later. But anyway, I'm about to head down to the shops today. It's pouring down rain here in sunny coast. It's ridiculous. Yeah. Anyway, long story short, today's going to be my topic. Today I might put a photo here or try and edit something like that. I don't know what words you can and can't say on YouTube, but I'm going to say it anyway. Like, I'm not monetized, I don't care. It's the assassination attempt on Trump. The first one. Can you believe I'm saying that? The first assassination attempt. Now, look, that was the one moment. I think that was 2020. It was somewhere, no, when was it? Sorry, it was 2024, I think, during his re-election campaign. And I was actually watching it live because we were on holiday. I was waiting for my wife to pack up. And we were in Glen Innes in a little Airbnb. Anyway, I was watching it. And I had the two shots fire. I thought everybody ducked down. And I didn't really make much of it. And I was watching it live, and I just said to my wife, I don't know what's going on, because when you watch it on YouTube, and I think I was watching Right Side Broadcasting Network, something like whatever it was, and I saw all the panic behind them first, and I figured, oh God, this is serious. And then I saw him get up, and obviously this. On a side note, I feel horrible for the people, that the firefighter that was behind that was murdered, shot by the assassin. And for those people out there saying there was a conspiracy, I pretty much say, go away. Like, this is, I don't believe into that. You know, you can find a conspiracy anywhere you want, I think. Now, I truly believe that, you know, that guy was there to kill him. And it was, in my opinion, not that I'm a law enforcement expert, just a lack of everything in the day. The fact that some guy can crawl on the roof and do that. Now, the bigger conspiracy, I think, is how he was allowed to do that, and having all the people say, hey, look at that kid up there, and he's still got a couple of shots away. But I digress back to my original point. My original point was the fact that, sorry, I'm just dripping with water from the rain. My original point was, when this moment had happened, when he got back up and yelled out, fight, 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 I felt my jugular pumping. I felt the hairs on my neck stand up. And that's the first time I've ever watched a political leader in my life. And I mean this, in 44 years of living, I think I was 40 at the time, whatever, actually, no, 42, whatever. I actually felt like, you know, that was someone, if he would have said to me, we're going to war, I would have been like, yeah, I'm with you. That's the first time in my life I've seen a political person, even some sporting coaches I've played for, you know, that was a moment then that I reckon I would have went to war, whatever he would have said, and don't take that wrong way. But that was the one moment I could have gone, wow, what are we doing, Trump? Let's go, I'm with you, you know what I mean? And the fact of the matter, and then when you see a lot of people come out of the woodwork, no, pardon me, I don't mean this negatively, I mean like Elon Musk coming out and immediately put his support behind him, because I think we realised in that moment, that was the moment when we saw that, you know, he could lose his life over this. And there's a lot of people quite sitting on the fence because they didn't want to come out as a Trump supporter for fear of business, having their business shut down or being doxxed or whatever like that. And I'm at the stage right now where I've kind of got to be careful, because I run a business myself on my own, and that's my income. And I kind of have to sit here and wonder, like, what should I say, what should I and shouldn't say? But I feel like most people that know me, or my customers know me, know that I'm not a horrible person. I do whatever I want. I made the mistake of wearing this shirt down to the grocery store, it was a couple of weeks ago. And there's probably 16 or 17-year-old girl, and just kind of gave me this look and looked me up and down and didn't really say anything. And my wife said to me that she was really bubbly before we walked up to the register, and they're really bubbly to the next customer after us. And I said to her, do you think it's got something to do with my shirt? And I thought, nah, it couldn't be. But anyway, we were walking back out, and we saw her looking around. I figured, okay, maybe it was. So that's why I feel like sometimes I've got to be kind of careful with what I say, which is crazy in a free democratic society, you know, like Australia or America, everywhere. I don't think we're as polarizing as America when it comes to politics and that, but we're getting close now, because I think a certain side of politics is feeling the heat, and they're going to start throwing their own back probably twice as hot. Get into that later. I digress back again. But anyway, I feel like that moment where it changed everything in my opinion of Trump. And I saw a guy that was like, you know, when he came back out, I think it was about 2 weeks later for the Republican National Congress, the convention, wherever it was, and he had the patch up here, and his speech, he was a bit different, quieter, more reserved, but I think you could tell, like, that's the guy that almost lost his life, you know. And the funny thing about it was, you know, watching that back at the time and seeing that all unfold, only in America would that happen, if that makes sense. And I mean, like America, Hollywood movies, stuff like that. Only in America would that happen, where, you know, he gets back up and goes, fight, fight, fight. And you heard the crowd erupt, you know. And when I heard them erupt, and I'm sitting there saying to my wife, like, oh my God. And I jumped off the chair going, he's up. I'm like, oh. And I'm sitting there thinking, like, how am I so into this? And I think the reason why is because, in my opinion, and don't judge me for saying this, I think Trump, and I never really liked Trump's TV show. I watched it a bit, but I can't believe I'm saying this. I always say this to most people about Trump. You listen to the first sentence, you don't listen to the two middle ones, and you listen to the last one. And what I mean by that, in Trump's paragraph, he starts off with this point, he ends with his point, and the middle, it's kind of like he's just rambling into something, I don't know what it is, playing to his bass or whatever it was. And that's what I usually say to people, just listen to the first sentence and the last and move on with your life. So anyway, my point is I'm not really afraid to wear this shirt anymore, I think now anymore, because I realize at the end of the day, if you have a problem with this shirt, that's your problem, that's not mine. This shirt doesn't have a Nazi SWAT sticker or anything like that. It's got the American flag and Trump like that immediately after he's been shot in the ear. And if you want to make a conspiracy about the bullet or whatever it is, that's on you. But the funny thing about it, when I watch people wear certain t-shirts or wear certain articles of clothing that I don't like, I just go like, oh, cool, whatever, move on. I don't kind of stare them down and make them look like I'm comfortable. Like, and don't get me wrong, like it's your choice to do that. But then, maybe this is why society's crumbling, because people can't actually understand that we all have a difference of opinion. I'll finish on this one here. If I hated South Sydney Rabbitohs, do I walk up to somebody and just give them the finger saying, F you, South Sydney Rabbitohs? No, that's the team they support. So my point to this is, like, be this whatever the shirt is. Sorry, I just got a little message on the phone saying the storage is almost full. I've got to delete some videos. I'll finish off that last little point there. What I mean by that is, my point to that whole thing is, this shirt means something to me. It might mean something to you, but why I'm wearing this is because it wears something to me. If you want to make that definition about something that means something bad to you, that's on you, but don't make me feel bad for wearing something that I want to wear, that I take pride in. Now, if Trump was saying kill people, blah, 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 or kill this, kill that, yeah, okay, I'll get your point. But he's got the American flag right there and he's saying fight, fight, fight. I think there's worse articles of clothing to wear. And to be honest, at least I'm fully clothed, unlike some people wearing some stuff right now. But yeah, thanks very much for watching. If you've come this far, comment below. Actually, do me a favor. If you're watching the video this far, write fight, fight, fight down below so I know that you've watched the video this far. Have a dry Monday. From the rain, I mean.